Today we are seeing something about the introduction for firefighting. So let me give you a quick introduction. Okay, and then after that we will see what we are going to learn in firefighting. Actually, still I am not feeling well, so I will take things quickly. Okay, basically, if you check MEPF, so there are four sections in MEPF. One is for your HVAC, okay, and one is your electrical, and one is your plumbing, and one is your firefighting. So these four parts constitute what you can say MEPF. So here, uh, what we are understanding by firefighting is that firefighting is a very vital, what you can say, it's a very important service, because nowadays, like if you go to any country, okay, especially if you go any European countries or American countries, so this firefighting is very mandatory there. And nowadays in India also, NBC has put some rules that we have to, if the building is more than 2 floor, or if the building is more than 3 floor, we have to go with firefighting system. Okay. Now, why firefighting is important? Because firefighting is used to protect the buildings actually. Basically, with firefighting, we can say that it is used to protect the building. Okay. Now, just understand by this thing. Protection of building means in building there are two things. One is the people and one is the equipments. Okay. So if you if you talk in these terms, so one will be the people and one will be the equipments, because all the heavy equipments for example HVAC equipments or electrical generator transformers or AHUs, chillers, everything, I'm just in general I'm telling that equipment and all the people, okay, like whatever the building. So basically we are protecting these two things, okay, we are protecting people, we are protecting equipment. So that's why firefighting is very important in terms of protecting the property and the building. Okay, you're protecting, basically you're protecting the property and the life of people. Okay, now the good thing about this firefighting is that, or you can say the funny thing about the firefighting is that whatever the amount we are putting for firefighting, it doesn't help any company, because we are just waiting for fire to occur in that building so that our firefighting system activates. So just imagine if a company or if a building owner decided to install fire protection system. So he's actually just what you can say, he's just installing the firefighting system. But normally what happens, this sometimes, like previously what used to happen, that people or the companies, they don't go for this fire protection system. Why? Means because they think that if we have the fire extinguisher, it will be more than enough, okay, like whenever in case any fire occurs. But nowadays government has put mandatory, okay, it means that you will not get any NOC certificate if you don't have any firefighting system in that building. Okay, especially if you see nowadays, like if you talk about the hospitals, okay, like nowadays in India or throughout the world, hospitals are the one which are what you can say constructing very frequently. If you check hospitals, hotels, okay, these are the two, okay, I will say that these are the two public building where the firefighting system is demand is very much. Why? Means because hospital is used for general people, hotel is used for general people, even airports also. Like if you talk about airports or railway station, normally we don't see in railway stations, but airports you will see the firefighting system. Okay, rest residential commercial building, now every building has different what you can say different set of fire protection system. So normally what happens in fire protection system, that is the most important question, how we are going to protect the building. Okay, if we are talking about the fire protection system, there are basically three types of systems. Normally throughout the world you will find, one is the sprinkler system, okay, and one is our hydrant system, sprinkler and hydrant system, and one is normal fire extinguisher system. Okay, these are the three basic systems which like every building has to follow. Sometimes you don't require hydrant system, sometimes you don't require the sprinkler system, sometimes you require only fire extinguisher system, that will be more than enough. So if you talk about NBC, which is the Indian code, okay, in Indian code they have given clearly the requirement of firefighting system. Okay, but as per NFPA, if you are going as per NFPA, so NFPA will tell that you have to go with these three kind of systems. Okay, like you have to go with the sprinkler system, you have to go with the hydrant system, and fire extinguisher also they have like mandated for some places. Like for example, if you are having one electrical room, or if you are having any generator room, so you can go with the fire extinguisher also. So those things we are going to cover here. Now here, just understand that we have to protect our building inside, outside. Okay, whatever the periphery of the building, everything we have to protect. That is the most important question here. How we are going to protect? That is the most important question here. Okay. So for that, what we have to do? See, normally, if you talk about HVAC, if you talk about electrical, or if you talk about plumbing, okay, not about the plumbing, but if you talk about HVAC and electrical, you have to design the system. Okay, if you talk about HVAC and electrical, you have to design the system. But firefighting is the one system which is already designed, or which is already what you can say, which is already recommended by an FPA agency. Okay, what we are doing here means we are just trying to calculate the requirement. Okay, we are like, suppose if you take any building, suppose if the building is 10th floor, so what we are doing basically, following the norms of NFPA, we are trying to calculate the water requirement for that particular building, because everything is given. But in HVAC or electrical, it is not like that. In HVAC or electrical, what we used to do, we have to do the calculations. Load calculation depend upon the orientation, depend upon the city. And for electrical, you have to check like what is the load, what we are going to get. So like that. But firefighting is nothing like that, because NFPA 13 has already designed. Okay, if you talk about NFPA 13, NFPA 13 has already designed the firefighting system. What we are going to do means we are going to check the building. Okay, based on that building, we are going to apply the formula which is suitable for that particular building. So that is why NFPA 13 is the most important, what you can say, standard which is followed for the sprinkler system. In the same way, the NFPA 14, which is used for the hydrant system, and NFPA 20, which is used for the fire pump system. These are the three standards which we have to, whenever you are doing the firefighting design, you have to follow here. We have to follow these three standards. And NBC is the local codes. Okay, like the Indian code is, local code is NBC. And if you go to any countries, like if you're going to Dubai, it will be Deva codes. If you're going to Qatar, it will be Kharama codes. Okay. And if you're going to America, maybe some different codes are given for American also. Okay. So these are something what we have to learn here. And here, basically what we are going to learn, remember one thing, whenever we are talking about water system, okay, this is the very basic thing. Okay, just try to understand this. Whenever we are doing any water calculations, because water calculations we are doing in plumbing and firefighting. Okay, and also water calculation we are doing in HVAC. Suppose if you are doing the chilled water, so there also we are doing the water calculation. Remember that whenever we are doing the water calculation, we need to always calculate flow. What is the flow requirement? Or sometimes it is also called as capacity. You can call it as anything, flow or capacity. Pressure. Second thing what we need to calculate is the pressure. Okay. Normally in plumbing, we don't focus on the pressure part. Okay. Why means, because in plumbing, we don't require that much of pressure, because our pipes are very like CPVC pipes, plastic pipes. So in plumbing, we don't bother about pressure that much, because the maximum pressure limit is given as 6 bar only in plumbing. So we don't need to bother about the pressure. But when you talk about what you can say firefighting, there are different ranges of pressure are given. So here we have to calculate the pressure also. Even in plumbing also we calculate pressure, but plumbing pressure is something different other than the firefighting. Okay. And flow pressure, and suppose if you are calculating the pump means, obviously when we are talking about the pump, three things will automatically come: the flow of the pump, the head of the pump, and sometimes the bhp of pump, or the power input of the pump. So these things we have to calculate. And velocity, there is one more term, velocity, but usually we don't require velocity, because in firefighting we focused mostly on the pressure. Okay, because here the water pressure is critical. Okay, if I talk in this term, the water velocity, the water pressure in firefighting is critical, because here I have to maintain the system pressure. Okay, in plumbing we don't maintain the system pressure. Okay, suppose if our pressure is increasing in plumbing, what we do, simply we take pressure reducing valve. Okay, and since you are using it on a daily purpose, so that's why they have given some limitation that you can go up to 6 bar only. There is some limitation in plumbing. Even in HVAC also we don't need to bother about the like pressure, because some limitations are given in HVAC also. I think like 6 bar, 10 bar, 12 bar, something is given. But in firefighting the pressure is the most important, because they have given, like I will give you one example. In NFPA 13 you will find that they have given 175 psi also. Okay, the pressure limit is given as 175 psi. Some places they have given the pressure ranges as I think 150 also. So there are the pressures, these are the pressure ranges which are given in firefighting. Okay, so you will see that different system will have different pressure ranges. So these things we are going to cover. Apart from that, the most important thing in firefighting what we are going to learn is the hydraulic calculation. Okay, now just remember this term hydraulic calculation. Now this hydraulic calculation you will find in each and every service. Like the hydraulic calculations are done in plumbing also, and in firefighting also, and in HVAC also. Why means, because hydraulic calculation is nothing but it is simply the calculation which it is simply the calculation of pump. Okay, just understand that hydraulic calculation is the calculation of pump. So in firefighting what we are going to do is we are going to follow the software called as Allied software. And in plumbing, if you have done plumbing, we have done the pump head calculation by using Darcy's method. Okay, so this was the plumbing. And also in HVAC we have one pump head calculation. So those who have done this thing, HVAC, they know how to do the primary pump, secondary pump calculation. Those things we will do. But this, okay, this calculation and this calculation, normally these two calculations are not called as hydraulic calculation, because in HVAC it will be called as pump head calculation. In plumbing also it is called as pump head calculation. But hydraulic calculation is mainly focused for firefighting, because here we are doing the calculation using this Allied software. And what we are calculating using Allied software, same thing what I told you, the flow, the pressure. Okay, we will calculate the flow, pressure, and I think yeah, these two things we will calculate, flow and pressure. Then we have to calculate bhp also, like what is the hp of pump. So mostly we are calculating this flow and pressure, because NFPA has given some limitation. Now our first section of this course will be understanding of the NBC and NFPA codes. Okay, first we will try to understand the codes, because without understanding the codes you can never go to the calculation. The good thing is that if you do hydraulic calculation, your firefighting calculations are done. But before going to this hydraulic calculation, first you need to understand what are the requirements or what are the input points we have to take from NFPA codes, because there are a lot of what you can say NFPA codes are given. Okay, you will find 1, 2, 3, okay, etc., 10, 11, 12, 13. 1920, 750. There are so many NFPA codes, 16, 17, 18. So what out of this, the most popular are this one, 13, 14, and 20. Okay. This is about now hydraulic calculations are done for only sprinklers and hydrant system. Okay, hydraulic calculations are not done for your what you can say fire extinguisher system. But fire extinguisher system, what is the meaning of fire extinguisher system means? Normally fire extinguisher, one is the basic fire extinguisher. Basic fire extinguisher means the basic machine what we used to see. And one fire extinguisher system is FM200 system. Okay. This is also fire extinguisher system, Novec 1230 system. So these are some special system which are used for special what you can say facilities like turbine rooms or electrical room or sometimes server room, or sometimes if you have so many what you can say electrical panels, okay, kept in one place where you cannot use water as the discharging agent, then you can go with this fire extinguisher system. There is one more system called as CO2 system. So these are normally these are called as gas separation system. Okay, these are the gas separation system, and these systems are used for special facilities. Special facilities like, as I told you, server rooms, or if you go to airports, you will find this gas separation system in the radar rooms, or wherever the data storage centers are, the data centers, those places we will see. So here what we will do, we will see the calculations also, like how to perform the FM200, Novec 1230 CO2 calculations. Okay, this thing also we will see. This is our second section. First section, see, first section is our understanding the codes. Okay, I will write down here. In first section, what we will do means we will understand the codes. Codes means NFPA. Okay, and additionally, I will also show you like NBC codes, like what are the NBC requirements and NFPA. This is our first section. In second section, what we have to do? We have to do the hydraulic calculation. So remember that hydraulic calculations are only done for sprinkler and hydrant. Okay, sprinkler system and hydrant system. In the third section, we will learn something about the fire suppression system, like about the fire, what you can say, extinguisher system. After this, the last section will be our fire alarm system. Okay, so this will be our fire alarm system. So in fire alarm system, what is the meaning of fire alarm system means? Basically, how we are going to understand that where the fire has occurred. Suppose if you are staying in a 50-floor building, and in each floor there are hundreds of rooms. I'm just giving you one example. So just imagine there are 5,000 rooms in one building. How you are going to identify which room has caught fire? So that thing can be helped with the help of fire alarm system. So here there are different types of detectors used, okay, like heat detectors, smoke detectors. So we will learn about the detectors here, and how the fire alarm control panels are look like, control module, monitor module. This thing we will something learn about those things in fire alarm system. So basically these are the four sections. First we will understand the codes, then hydraulic calculation, fire suppression, fire alarm. In between there are so many things. Okay, in between there are so many things which we will see, okay, which we will cover. And finally, once you complete like all these things, so basically after that, BOQ and all will be obviously there, like schematics, drawings, BOQ, how to like read BOQ, how to do the like check the reports and all, those things will be there. Okay, so basically these are the things what we are going to learn in this course. And we will the timing, as the timing I said, like we will start at 9:30 p.m. Okay, I think 1 hour is more than enough on daily basis, but whenever we are going for allied calculation, we will sit for some extra time, because allied calculation is something like we cannot complete, like we cannot do half calculation today, half calculation tomorrow. So it's better that if we like whenever we are starting this allied calculation, we will sit for some extra time. Like if it goes for 2 hours also, we will sit, because what happens, that if we are sitting for 1 day, like if we are sitting for 2 days for allied calculation for two different example, so we can like save some time. So like that we can do. So just understand that in firefighting, this is the most important calculation. Hydraulic calculation by using allied software is the most important calculation in firefighting. If you know how to do this hydraulic calculation, then just understand that you have like learned completely about the firefighting system. But before going to the hydraulic calculation, the first thing what we will do, we will crack down the codes like NFPA, what is NFPA 13 used for, what is NFPA 14 used for. So I think this particular thing will take us 3 to 4 days. Okay, 3 days maximum it will take, because one day we will crack NBC and 2 days we will crack NFPA. If possible, it can go for 4 days. And as soon as we crack these codes, then we will directly go for the hydraulic calculation. Hydraulic calculation also, it will take 3 to 4 days for you, because if we are sitting for longer hours, 2 hours, okay. So I think we can complete this thing. And this fire alarm suppression, fire alarm system, these are very small topics, but in between these things, there are so many other things. Some special equipments will also come, okay. Like some special equipments are there in firefighting. So we will try to understand those special equipments also, like what is the use of those special equipments. So those things also we will see. So like that we are going to complete our course. Okay. If you have any question you want to ask, you can ask me. If you want to ask, if you want to inquire anything about this, like anything, if you want to ask or you want to understand, you can ask. Yeah.
It's clear. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So it will be regular, inshallah.
Yes. It will be regular. We will start like, and we will because this time will be like suitable, and this time will be very convenient to sit, and we will try to go little fast only, because the most important thing is this allied calculation. So once
Okay. Also take care of your health. You are
yeah,
still
thank
not.
you. Thank you. Yeah. Okay then. So we will stop here only. We will meet tomorrow. Okay. So the same way, like I will share the recordings and everything. I'll just ask for the mail IDs in the group itself. I have mail IDs, but still I will ask, and the same routine we will follow. Like every day, like recording will be shared and notes will be shared. Okay. Like subsequent notes will be shared. So on daily basis, something I will be sharing, so that it will not be burden for you also. So like that, we are going to cover this. Okay then.
Sorry to interrupt, sir. Did I ask you one
Sure.
question, please?
Yeah, sure. You can ask.
I just wanted to know, is there any guidelines for the Elite software? How
Yeah,
to use?
I will help you out how to install this Allied software, because there is one setup file which you need to install. So I will definitely help you out how to install the Allied software, because I think why I am telling 2 hours means because half hour in that only. Like sometimes what happens, you will not get that link also. So don't worry about that thing. Software is not very heavy. I think uh, up to 150 MB this software is. Up to 150 MB it will be there. Not more than 150 MB. And that you have to install for 1,000 pipes. There are two types of software actually available in internet. One is 10 pipes, one is 1,000 pipe. So first what we will do, first we will try to install this software, then we will go for the calculation, because this is the demo software, but this is 1,000 pipe means you can define 1,000 number of pipes. Now you will understand what is this 1,000 pipe software, and I think I have heard that there are 5,000 pipe software is also available, but this is the license, and this is like used for the country like company purpose only. So this 1,000 pipe is more than enough, and I think for 1,000 pipes you can design easily any high-rise building, because 1,000 pipe sections you are going to connect. And in
Are we going to work on a real time project or some imaginary or schematic?
we can work on any project, real time or like not imaginary, because what allied software, what you have to do means you have to first model, you have to first do the routing, and based
Uh-huh.
on the routing you have to do the calculation. Now if you understand thoroughly any two example, then easily you can work out on any other examples. Because routing we have to, here what we are going to do means allied software is something. For example, if I have routed like this, suppose this is my point number A, and this is how I have routed. For example, this is point number B. Now software will calculate according to this. Okay. If someone has found the easiest way, like they have done like this, so software will calculate like this. So this is the most important thing. The routing part is the most important thing in allied software. Sometimes what you have to do, sometimes you can save some fittings also. So that is only our work. Our main primary work is to avoid some unnecessary fittings. Okay. So in hydraulic calculation also we have to do the same thing, because if you follow this routing, obviously your calculation will go little bit higher. But if you are following this routing, the calculation will be very simple and the results will be very simple. So this is what we are going to learn here, and there are so many ways you can do these calculations. Okay, like allied software, but allied software is the one which will follow calculation from point number 1 to point number 2. And the most important thing is everything should be in loop. You cannot, what you can say, suppose if I do something like this, if I am starting from point A, this is my point B. If I started and somewhere I missed the loop, okay, and I am trying to connect something like this, for example. Now, here what happens, at this point, software will intimate that you have not followed the loop. You have to close the loop. The software itself will tell that we have to close this loop. If we are not closing this loop, or if we are not closing this particular pipe, then we cannot proceed for the calculation, because in order to do the calculation, all the points or all the pipe section should be closed. Now this particular is called as pipe section. This is pipe section. This is pipe section. Like that you can go for 1,000 pipe sections. Just imagine if you are going for 1,000 pipe sections and you have to make one loop. Okay, the proper loop. Loop is something that you cannot, what you can say, you cannot, what you can say, how to say that. It is something you cannot, what you can say, you cannot,
Overlook.
yeah, you cannot overlook it, and you cannot make it randomly also. Suppose if I make some random loop also, like suppose if I make just randomly this pipe, even software will detect that also, that you have not done proper, what you can say, your network is not proper. Kindly go back to this pipe section and try to change the network. So that's why whenever we are starting the allied calculation, this networking of pipe is very most important. Because if suppose if I'm creating this network, means my software will tell at this point what is the pressure, at this point what is the pressure, at this point what is the pressure, at this point what is the pressure. Even it will tell that at these points what are the pressures and the flow. So this is how, this is what, even the velocity also it will tell what will be the velocity. So that's why this is the most important thing. So we are going to learn here, and we are going to mostly focus our much of the efforts in allied calculation only, because hydraulic calculation itself I think constitutes 50% of firefighting, or more than 50%. You can say up to 60%. Everything depend upon the allied calculation only. So that's why we will focus much on the hydraulic calculation part. Rest everything is very easy. Fire suppression system is very simple topic. Fire alarm system is a very simple topic. So those things you can easily understand it when we go for the class. Okay then. So
Thanks.
okay then. Thank you. We will meet tomorrow.
Okay, thank you, Swami.
Thank you.
Thank
Sir,
you.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank
so
you.
one thing I want to say you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, can you please send the recording of?
Yes,
of
I'll
today's
share
class?
you. I'll share
Okay.
this recording also. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Sir, are you sharing on the WhatsApp group?
No,
Or
I'll share on the mail. I'll share on the mail. I'll just ask the mail IDs in the group itself. So you can like follow that. Okay.
thank
Okay,
you.
sir.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.